BF, 30M. Knowingly gave me 26F, HPV. Posting on a throwaway for obvious reasons. I, 26F, found out that my boyfriend, 30M, of almost a year gave me HPV. He was aware he had it before we started dating and chose not to tell me until I started having symptoms. The truth came out in a humiliating way and I'm at a complete loss about what to do. A few weeks ago I noticed what I thought was an ingrown hair in a difficult to adequately see for myself area. When it didn't go away, I thought maybe I had developed a skin tag, which I've never had anywhere on my body before, but it seemed like a legit possibility, and sheepishly asked my boyfriend to check it out for me. When he saw what turned out to be a genital wart, he suddenly confessed to having HPV and hiding that fact from me our entire relationship. He even admitted noticing he had a new genital wart a few months into his dating, so he knew it was still active. To say I was blindsided would be an understatement. We've had what I thought was an amazing relationship until now. I mean, truly, I thought he was the most incredible person I've ever met. His rationale for not telling me is that he was ashamed, assumed I was vaccinated, and told himself, it's a common STI anyway. As someone who has a lot of physical and emotional trauma, it's difficult for me to tell if I'm overreacting by wanting to end our relationship over this. I never thought I'd be posting on this sub, but here we are. I can't even talk to my closest friends about this because they are in the same PhD program as myself and my BF. And regardless of how betrayed I feel, I do not want to embarrass him by telling people we both regularly see. So, is this forgivable? Am I making too big of a deal out of this, or am I justified in feeling like I can't be with him? Every time I try to remind myself that our relationship was really great until now, I think of the painful cervical biopsies and uncomfortable doctor's appointments I now have to endure that he basically signed me up for. Am I being dramatic? I'm at a complete loss about what to do. You dump his selfish ass. He doesn't give a damn about your health. You are underreacting. Please dump him. What else has he lied to you about? If you stay with him, what else will he lie to you about? He's a selfish asshole who knowingly gave you an STI. This is unforgivable. This is completely unforgivable and grounds for dismissal from your life, and he deserves to be embarrassed publicly. This is not forgivable and you deserve better. Does not matter what the severity of the STI is. He still knowingly gave it to you. Dump his ass. Oh my God. First of all, I'm so sorry this has happened. Isn't knowingly giving someone an STI actually illegal in a lot of places? You are absolutely not overreacting by wanting to leave. You should run as fast as you possibly can and report that loser for what he did to you. I'm so sorry again. I hope you're able to move on and heal from this awful experience. I would categorize that as an assault. Passing on something like that which can have life-altering effects knowingly is to me the equivalent of rape. It is disgusting behavior and I would remove this asshole from your life immediately. I would also consider seeking help from a lawyer to see whether they are infected and legal actions you can take. I think my boyfriend, 39 male, and I, 32 female, just broke up. We've been in a relationship for 4 years. I'm a sex-negative asexual, as such our relationship has been open for the majority of those 4 years. He is free to have sex with whomever he pleases with the caveat that if he intends to bring them home with him I get to meet them first. He has never brought a girl home before. About a month ago he started talking about arranging a meeting with me and his current girlfriend, let's call her C. I met her last week. She's very pretty, and a really sweet girl, kinda shy, but that's understandable considering the circumstances. I gave my blessings to bring her home, and she spent the next 3 days sleeping over. Today my partner told me he was in love with C. He said it felt like how we were 4 years ago. He told me he loved me but it wasn't romantic anymore. He called our love a rock-steady forever sort of love, but what he had with C was entirely different, that they were thinking about children in the next few years and he wanted me to be his kid's aunt, godmother. I agree that what we have isn't romantic anymore, but it's definitely still love. I think we're both not really sure exactly what we are anymore. I think we just had the nicest breakup conversation in the history of breakups, but does it really count as a breakup if we ended it by confirming we were still partners? Can we be partners without being boyfriend, girlfriend? The honest truth is, you two were emotional rocks and best friends for one another for those 4 years. Given you're asexual and he's not, though, there was no long-term compatibility there anyway. You are not still partners. You may still be able to be friends, but you two will not be partners in any sense of the word. This is one of the things that can happen in an open relationship, but unfortunately there is no coming back from this at all, and you should be prepared for you two to not be able to maintain a friendship long-term despite the conversation expressing that intent. Isn't this just being best friends, not partners? Sounds like he's trying to step back from you to be with his new GF. If he meant for you to be an extra partner, wouldn't you be more like a stepmom rather than an aunt or godmother? I feel your relationship with him is done, and I doubt this other girl would probably want you there in the long run. I think it would be best for you to step back and leave them to live their lives now. He has clearly set the standards about his future expectations with Siime. Kids etc., and it would get to a stage where his girlfriend would not prefer you in the picture, especially after the talk he has had with you. He's just trying to peacefully step back from your relationship without hurting your feelings. Best to move on and find someone who is more compatible for you and who meets your needs and wants. Yeah, this was never gonna pan out. Sex is important to a lot of people and a way of connection yada yada. This was probably always gonna happen, him connecting in a way he can't with you. Don't be part of the drama. Disconnect. Find another asexual woman shrugging medium dark skin tone. For a poly relationship structure. Yes, it's possible for relationships to shift and mutate over time to something that on the relationship escalator would look like a step down. So that may be what you two are doing, and as long as you are on the same page, I think we make our own relationships fit what works for us and not what would work for generic person. So the real question is, how does C view things? That will be a key factor, probably the key factor. For a monogamous relationship or one that was expecting to be like 95% the same as one. No, partners generally and reasonably won't be down with that. My 40 male partner, 33 female, of 3 months lied about pregnancy test. Is she toxic? The girl I've been dating since early March decided she would test me whilst I was away traveling for work. I work on the road, usually coming home each night except 1 week per month where I have to be away for a week to see clients that live too far away. On my last trip, a few weeks back, she decided to test me with radio silence. She knows when I'm in the car for work. My work phone is plugged into Apple CarPlay in case clients call. I use it for navigation as well, of course. I'm also fairly introvert outside of work. I feel I'm awkward at the best of times when dealing with clients. I just want to be in my own space after work. I also struggle making phone calls to people for general chit-chat. The last message I had received from her was on the Thursday morning. I was driving home Friday night, and we had plans to catch up Saturday morning, when she would come over. I didn't hear anything from her until Saturday afternoon when I got a missed call and text whilst I was doing chores. I'm outside. Having not heard from her since Thursday, I had sent a message asking if she was mad at me on Saturday morning. Because she had told me she was late on Monday, then sent a photo of a positive pregnancy test on Tuesday, but that it was impossible that she was pregnant, etc. I thought maybe my reaction wasn't the correct one that she wanted in the situation, and for that she was mad with me. Well, we sat down on Saturday afternoon, and she came clean that the silence was a test. Why didn't I call to see if she was okay? What if she had been in an accident, etc., etc.? I told her straight up, I'm not here to play those games, that if she does it again not to bother reconnecting after playing the silence game, as we would be over. Well, in a moment of curiosity I did a reverse image search on the positive pregnancy test photo she sent. Surprise surprise, she saved it from a website. I don't know why I didn't think to check before. I guess the setting it up that she was late, the negative test on the Saturday prior, just made it believable for me. This is just 3 months in. I know I shouldn't stick my dick in crazy. Is it too late? Am I going to expect more of this? I'm so close to calling an end now that I know. Update. Iran. I sent her a screenshot of the website with the same pic she sent me. Said it's over. I had 9 missed calls. I blocked her on FB, Insta, WhatsApp, Hinge. Then she called using a different number. I used Google screening, which is risky because this is also my business number, could have been a customer. Blocked that number too. I gotta stop finding psychos. You know the answer to this. Run away. You know she's toxic. Testing someone is crazy, but making up a fake pregnancy test? No. Run. 3 months is usually the mark that people show their true colors. Everything you described is a form of emotional abuse. I never usually recommend breakups, but in this case, get the fuck out. Fake pregnancy tests are something that is indicative of extreme mental health issues that no one else but her can fix. Get the fuck out of there, man. And if you want to be super sure, buy her a pregnancy test and have her take it with you in the house. Game player. Manipulator. Dump her. She is way too old to be playing games. Cut your losses and move on. End it. You have stuck your dick in crazy, doesn't mean you have to keep on doing it. Why does my boyfriend not give me more context when I ask normal questions? M25F22. My boyfriend said he didn't want to touch my phone when I was showing him a text post. After I said he's allowed to touch my phone, he stopped reading and looked away when it went dark. When I asked why, he said, because I don't want to. Then I tried to ask again, why don't you want to? And he said, because I don't want to. That's my answer. Why does he do this? On multiple occasions he'll just say there's no reasoning and just repeat the same phrase. Then when I say I'm just asking for direct reasoning he gets mad, he keeps repeating himself and leaves the room quite dramatically. It turns into a negative experience because he gets mad at me for it. I'm sure it's very difficult when you want an answer and can't get one, but sometimes it's kinda rude and ineffective if you keep demanding a better answer. You can't force someone to give you an answer that you are happy with. Good luck. Communication can be frustrating sometimes. A lot of people don't explain boundaries like this because explanations come with people trying to decide if your reason is good enough for them to accept. Explanations come with pushback. It could also just be something he isn't ready to talk about. Or maybe he has a weird aversion for no reason and there really isn't an explanation other than he just doesn't want to. Regardless, pushing too hard is unlikely to get the results you're wanting. It's like when you're a kid and your parent asks you to do something. You ask them why and they just respond, because I said so. Okay, but why? Because I said so. Weird behavior and poor communication at the minimum. My ex used to tell me he would never touch my phone because it's a boundary, but come to find out it's because he didn't want me to go through his and he was cheating. Doesn't mean that is what's happening, but sometimes people project weird things. But he has told you the reason. He doesn't want to. It's really that simple. You need to accept that sometimes there's no deep meaning behind something. I'm not sure what these other people are saying. This is very childish of him. That's not how you communicate in a relationships. Also, him dramatically leaving, getting upset when you try to address it is not the way to go.